Accessories are a great way to give the clothes that you already own an update and a little bit of a modern edge. So today I'm shining the spotlight on 10 fall-winter fashion accessories that are going to really up the ante on your outfits. Hi, I'm Leonie and welcome to my channel. Now today we're talking accessories because accessories really are the icing on the cake. They're a really easy and cost-effective way to update your outfits and just kind of give a nod to a trend without spending a fortune. Now I'm featuring quite a unique array of accessories today because I have been scanning the internet and have found some really interesting accessories that are definitely gaining momentum. Also, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has followed me over on the LTK app, and I will leave a link to my LTK page in the description box below. And I've recently joined LTK if you missed hearing about it in my recent videos, and I'm posting daily over there. So I'm posting all sorts of fashion sale updates and really cool fashion and beauty finds. So I would love you to follow me over there. As I said, I will leave a link in the description box below, but let's get on to these very cool fall and winter accessories that I promise you will definitely be a game changer for you. Now the first accessory trend, and one that I am particularly excited about, is bejeweled beanies and hats and headbands. There seems to be a real natural return to embellished pieces. Last winter we saw some embellished jeans and denim, and this winter is all about embellished headwear. I particularly love this accessory because it is super practical, and if you've been following me here for a while, you'll know that I love fashion, I love it to be fun, but it also has to be practical. So any sort of headwear that keeps your head warm and therefore your body cozy and warm is a winner in my mind. And certainly bedazzling and embellishing some of those functional pieces like our headwear just gives them a little bit of extra edge. And who doesn't need a little bit of sparkle when the weather gets cold? So think sequins and jewels and anything that's just a little bit special. Last winter was all about the pom-poms. This winter is all about jewels. Now next up, this is a fun one too, and one that I know my mother will definitely approve of, and that is the return of pearl necklaces. Now, please don't laugh at me when I say that, because it does bring something rather crude to my mind, but pearl necklaces are definitely making a comeback. Also pearl bracelets and pearl earrings. I have seen so many around, and I love the look of them teamed back with some of your gold, silver chains. The whole kind of mixed metals thing is very much a happening thing this season, and so it kind of makes it really easy. Just pile on some of your favorite pieces and team them with either some pearl earrings or a pearl necklace, and you have an interesting new update on an outfit perhaps that you have loved and owned and worn for years. So pearls are back, and as I said, my mother and my grandmother would be very happy to hear that. And at this point, I'd just like to say a very big thank you to the team at Squarespace for sponsoring this portion of today's episode. Now, I have a Squarespace blog, and I've actually used Squarespace for a number of years. It is my chosen platform to build any sort of online presence because, quite frankly, it is so simple to use. You don't need to have any tech smarts, and everything is there for you in one place. And if you're not really sure what you would like your website to look like, then Squarespace has you covered. There are some really beautiful templates to choose from, and then you can customize them further down the track and make them your own if you choose to. So if you are thinking about jumping online or creating any sort of online presence this year, I can hand on heart recommend Squarespace as the easiest and most effective way to do it. Now, I'm really thrilled to say that the team at Squarespace are offering you a discount today, which I have talked about in some of my recent videos, and that is to save 10% off your first website or domain with Squarespace. All you need to do is whip on over to squarespace.com, take advantage of their free trial. When you're ready to push play on your own website, blog, selling platform, whatever it is that you're trying to do online, then use my unique URL, which is squarespace.com/The Style Insider, and then my code, which is simply The Style Insider, and that will give you your 10% discount. I will leave a link to Squarespace in the description box below and some more details about that offer. But if you are planning to get online and, like me, you don't have a whole lot of tech smarts to do it, then Squarespace is for you. Now, this next one is also a practical one, and that is the return of long gloves. Now, when I think about long gloves, I think about evening wear and weddings and silk satin gloves. But that's not all that is happening. So there are lots of faux leather and leather long gloves which are going to happen. The reason that I love this look and love this accessory is because, again, it's practical, but also it means that you can get a little bit more wear out of some of the more summery pieces that you own, like some of the shorter sleeves that you own. I've also seen arm warmers as well. So again, this is another trend that is in the same vein as these long gloves. It's practical, it's warm, will keep you cozy, and it's also a way to add a little bit of an interesting look to your outfit. So I remember a couple of years back, I was wearing arm warmers and got a little bit of grief from a few of my friends saying, these are not in fashion, what are you doing? I think I was probably trying to be a trendsetter, but they were practical, they were warm, and on that particular day, they were making a bit of a statement and adding a bit of color to the outfit that I wore. But I am delighted that arm warmers and long line gloves are back. Now, one of the key fashion trends for fall winter this year is cinched waists. We're seeing oversized blazers and shirts and dresses all being cinched in at the waist. We are seeing more of our silhouette being shown. And so, of course, the one easy way to do that and to create that feminine silhouette is with a belt. So belts, you may say, are not a trend. They're always just a functional piece. And you would be right, yes, they are. But with the cinched waist being very much a happening thing, there seem to be some really great, interesting options available when it comes to belts. And also belts are often pieces that we don't tend to update very regularly. So have a look at some of the belts that you currently own. Would adding another interesting belt to your lineup kind of help you create some new, more modern outfits? Have a little bit of a think about that. Just adding a belt can add a finishing touch to an outfit. So think about belts as a little bit of a style statement and a way to cinch your waist or get more wear out of some of those oversized pieces. So take a look at some of the belts that you own and just see if they are really going to cut it this season. Now, I talked earlier about mixed metals being very much a trend for jewelry this year, but what I'm also seeing is cuffs and big chunky kind of hinged cuffs, which I absolutely love a hinged cuff, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But cuffs of mixed metals being worn together. Now, the reason I love the hinged cuffs is because you can wear them over some of your knitwear and over some of your long sweaters and fine sweaters, so they can kind of give you an accessory to enjoy even when it's cold and you're rugged up. So these hinged cuffs are definitely going to make a style statement and just add a little bit of interest and a bit of a wow factor to some of your simple winter woolies. And on that same vein, I can't put together an accessories episode without talking about chunky necklaces. And I'm wearing one of my favorites from Revolve today. This is actually, I don't know whether you can see it, but it's a mixed metal. So it's kind of half gold, half silver. I love the fact that it's kind of done the mixing for me. I don't need to do anything else. Perhaps I could have just added a pearl necklace, which would have just given it a little bit more of a modern look. But chunky statement necklaces are definitely happening again this season as well. So expect to still see your fine, delicate jewelry that is layered, but also a single chunky chain is also going to be a really interesting way to update a simple tee. Wear it with a tee, a chunky chain, and then a blazer over the top. It's just an extra piece that kind of creates, as I said just earlier, a little bit of interest. So take a look at some of these chunky statement chains and consider adding one or bringing one out from your collection and wear it this season. Okay, so hiding your socks is definitely a thing of the past, because this season it is all about socks, interesting socks, and having them on show. So there is a huge array of really interesting socks, from sparkly, shimmery socks to socks with pretty colorful detailing to you name it. There's all sorts of socks on offer. And I love the fact that they've become a little bit of a fashion accessory that just creates some interest and color and just a little bit of something to a plain outfit. So think about socks as an accessory and think about showing them off instead of trying to just use them and wear them as a practical piece that needs to be hidden away. Last winter was all about baseball caps, and I still see that they're very much a happening thing this season. They make sense, they're practical, and we all own a number of them pretty much. So what I have noticed this season though is the introduction of what is called newsboy caps. So I think in the olden days or back in the day, newspaper boys, newspaper sellers used to wear these type of caps, and they are back and big for winter. Now, again, it's a practical trend. It's going to keep your head warm. It's not going to be as cozy as a bejeweled beanie, but it does add an interesting look and another dimension. I particularly love these hats too because they're easy to kind of stow in your tote bag as well. But when we were seeing more sort of fedora style hats, they were a little bit more trickier to kind of store away or stash in your bag when we went inside. But these newsboy hats are definitely one that can easily be worn inside and pop it in your tote when you're not wearing it. They're also fairly loose fitting too, so it's not going to give you hat hair in the same way that a baseball cap would. So if you like headwear and you want something a little interesting for the season, take a look at some of these hats. Now, one of the other trends that I'm a huge fan of, and that is blanket scarves. So these are pretty much like what they say, a blanket, chunky, oversized scarf that you can pretty much just wrap yourself up in and snuggle up and keep warm. I love the practicality of these scarves, and obviously there are lots of different options available this season. We did actually see them in a bit of a big way last winter, but clearly they are still here this season. I'm really happy about that. Practical, they're great. They create that final piece of an outfit. Regardless of what you're wearing underneath, throw that over your coat and you've got a interesting style statement that you can make with your oversized scarf. So think about these oversized scarves, maybe include or add one to your repertoire just to give some of your winter coats a whole new look and feel. Now, maybe winter, but you still need sunglasses. I certainly do. I need to protect my eyes. I find myself squinting and struggling outdoors, even if it's cloudy outside. Let me know in the comments below if you're a fan of wearing sunglasses in winter as well, or if I'm just an outlier and I'm on my own here. But there are a number of eyewear trends that are hot for the season. There are wraparound shades, that sort of sporty look that's definitely happening. There are also some kind of aviator styles, smaller aviator styles that are happening. But the key look that I wanted to talk about today is rectangular shaped shades. Now, I think the likes of Hailey Bieber may have started this trend. I'm not sure. I have seen her wear some and look really great. But the thing that I love about this particular trend and this particular shape is that it is surprisingly flattering on most people. So whether you have a petite face, the frames are not going to kind of overwhelm your face, and it is just a shape that just seems to work for most people. So think about these rectangular shaped shades. I've seen some in really beautiful bright colors, which are always going to make a little bit of an impact when you go anywhere. But it's a really nice shape, and definitely if you do need to upgrade your eyewear, and it's an easy thing to do for a new season, but if you do need to upgrade your eyewear, then take a look at some of these lovely rectangular shapes. Anyway, that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, I'd love you to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.